friends. Welcome back to Live with Roxy on this Tuesday, August 17th. What's special about August 17th? Well, a lot of different things. Number one, it's Leo season, gang, my favorite of the signs. No, I'm not a Leo. I just happen to love them. Number two, it's Grammy's birthday. Happy 94th birthday to my incredible grandmother, who is just the gift to this planet from the universe. Everybody join me in wishing Grammy a happy birthday. I'm going to be leaving this show probably in about 40 minutes, depending on if she calls me before that, so that I can go take Grammy out for tea and scones. Why do I do it like that? Why does it have to be tea and scones? Because I said so. You can't have tea and scones. It's going to be tea and scones. And we were going to go get her nails done, but her nail place is closed on Tuesdays and she won't go anywhere else because she's a loyal bitch. So we're going to do tea and scones, and then we're going to do dinner with Papo because she didn't want Papo to feel excluded for dinner time. So just me and Graham catching up in the daytime because I haven't seen her yet. I went and took a COVID test this morning just to make sure after flying and all of that stuff that I was A-okay, even though you guys know I'm vaccinated. Just everything with the Delta variant. One of the things that I will tell you guys, in case you didn't know, and I was not aware of this until I was on set, is that there are rapid tests available at CVS right now where you don't go take them at CVS. You buy them from CVS. This one, I believe, was like $29 for 2 tests. And they send you home with a kit, and it kind of looks like a pregnancy test. But instead, the directions are very clear. Apparently, they're 95% accurate. And you take out this dropper, you drop it on this thing, you swipe your nose. You don't have to go that far up, just like a half of an inch. You put the nose swipe into the dropper container, and then you wait for the results. Like a pregnancy test, there's either 1 line or 2 lines. It's really easy to read, really simple to do. Not that expensive considering it's a rapid test, and makes me feel a whole lot better making sure I see my grandparents. So if any of you guys are in similar situations to me, or you are unable to get vaccinated for some reason, maybe because you are under 12 years old, or your doctor is not recommending it because of something with your immune system or whatever it is, or if you are vaccinated and you're just hyper cautious like I am, then that's a great resource that we have that I didn't realize was available. Again, I just got it at CVS. So I thought that you would have to do it there. But the great thing about having it at home is that you can kind of have a couple of them. And just in case you're in a situation where you need it relatively quickly, or you have to go do something, again, if you're like me and you're taking care of your grandparents ever, or you just want to make sure after you fly or anything like that. Obviously, I'm not repped by these people. I just always like to let you guys know when I find something that works well for me, and that has been working well for me. It's in this blue box about this big at CVS. They had them at CVS in Ohio. They have them at CVS out here. So they probably have them at CVS around the United States. Maybe Walgreens has them too, Rite Aid, I don't know, but CVS certainly does. You can also call ahead and ask. Anyway, so I took a COVID test this morning. It is negative, which means that I'm excited to spend the day with Grammy for her birthday. I feel like once you hit 90, you should be able to celebrate every year like it's a 0. So you know how we celebrate the decades. We celebrate a huge one for 30 and then 40, 50, 60. I feel like when you're at 90, 91 should be as big as 90. 92 should be as big. 93 should be as big. So 94, I wanted to take Grammy and do this whole full-blown thing with her. I called this really nice tea place in Los Angeles that does this whole tea presentation. I was like, oh, she wants tea and scones. We should just go do this. And so I called her and I was like, I booked this whole thing. We have a reservation. And she was like, kind of just want to go to our usual spot and sit outside. So I canceled the reservation. She just was like, I don't feel like it. I want to do what I want to do. And what I want to do is just sit outside with you and eat a scone at the place that we always go to. I'm like, Graham, we go there like twice a week together. She's like, yeah. And that's what I want to do. It's my birthday, bitch. So I was like, all right, birthday dealer's choice. So that is what we're doing. I'll keep you guys posted on that. It's not the only thing we're talking about today, though, although I will always spend as much time as you guys will let me talking about Grammy. We're also going to be talking about Shang-Chi, which has fucking stellar reviews. Shout out to my boy Simu Liu. I hope you just keep growing and are amongst the stars. God, I love him. And I'm so excited to see this movie. We're going to be going over some of those reviews today and just talking about what exactly that means for Shang-Chi's release, which is not coming for another couple of weeks. However, I am seeing it tomorrow. And then the embargo, I believe, is up on Monday. So I'll be going tomorrow morning with the Whirl Girls. We'll be able to tweet about it. The social media embargo is up, so we'll be able to let you guys know how what we think. And then I do believe that we are going to be recording a review, a straight up review for that Monday 9 a.m. So in like 5 days from tomorrow, 6 days from today. And that is how you will know our thoughts on it. But I will be going over other people's social media reactions today just because they are so freaking phenomenal. Also, I've been doing some TV watching. Would love to hear from you guys about what you are watching, questions, comments, concerns about what I'm watching, including the fact that I'm halfway through last night's episode of Bachelor in Paradise. Why am I only halfway through? Because I forgot like a Momo to call my brother and have him tape it. So I had to wait like a peasant to be able to watch it today on ABC. And so I'm only halfway through. God, I love this show. Also fully caught up on Gossip Girl. So we can talk about that. Big Brother, full blown caught up. And I finally watched the season finale of Dave. Holy shit, is that show good? Plus a whole lot more. So we can discuss all of that. And in less good news, so that was all fuck yeah news and fuck no news. Yesterday, I decided, all right, Rox, you buried your head in the sand for 2 weeks. You didn't look at the news. You focused on your acting gig. You did your best you could to knock that out of the park. And now you cannot bury your head no longer. You need to learn what's going on in Afghanistan, what's happening in Haiti. And so I spent 2 hours yesterday looking into the news. God, this is why people are fucking depressed. I went from feeling like I was on cloud nine. Wow, I'm doing all these things in my life and it's getting back to where I want it to be or moving forward to where I want it to be. And I just have so many things to tell the rock stars and the world friends and I cannot wait. And then I was like, all right, I need to know what's going on in Afghanistan. And just like called my dad. And felt like effing crying as he was filling me in on things. And I'm looking at the news and I'm talking to Steph and just fucking horrible what's going on there. We have just continued to botch things. Ugh. So we can talk a little bit about the world as well. Although this is an entertainment show, a heart and soul show, a feel-good show. It's a roller coaster show. So we will get to that, but we're going to go everywhere in between before then. Let's start in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer and see what it is that you guys want to talk today. I just clicked over to another tab and instead of clicking into the Streamlabs, I clicked in the middle of the episode of Bachelor in Paradise and I'm watching 2 people make out, suck face. God, sucking face is like the grossest way you can put it, but it just kind of gets the point across. Sucking face. You ever seen 2 people suck face? Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Let's see what is happening here. I don't know if I read this one yesterday. Jake Yakoveta, did I read this? LOL, we had Elena Jordan on Call to Action last night, and she kept making cicada puns. We got extremely drunk. She's a fucking trip. Yeah, she is. She's a total trip. Glenn Caesar today says, hello, Roxy, and all your nicknames. Good job on SCN Live on Twitch for the first time. Yo, was it a good job, Glenn? We made no money over there today, which that's a tough look. And B, I don't fucking understand Twitch. I feel like I just am getting the hang of YouTube with all the things and learning all of it. I don't know. The Twitch thing is so stressful for me. I don't know if any of you guys have severe Twitch and anxiety like I do. Anytime I'm trying to learn a new technology, like I remember when I had to go from BlackBerry to Apple and leaving behind BBMs, I was like, how am I going to leave behind BlackBerry messaging? That's what I use for everything. I BBM everybody, but like iMessaging was so much better. So I'm very aware that Twitch might be a better platform, but for me, because I don't know it yet, that shit's tough. Ugh. It's just hard. I got to figure it out. Glenn also said, peace, bunnies, hugs, and good stuff to your dad, Sky, Jet, Grammy, Papo, and your family. Thank you. Be most excellent to yourselves and each other, Roxy and Rockstar's band, because you deserve it. Roxy and everyone who shows up to give their support whenever, however they can when it gets tough. It is by yourself. You're not alone. Everyone who's battling, keep on fighting. You're a winner. Winner chicken dinner. That's what I added into Glenn's thing. Each win for you is a win for us all. That is true. You're fully unique. You're kind. Caring and being so unselfishly loving and supportive of others, including strangers, whether you're on the internet or not, makes you humane, worthy, and a bright, shiny star. It's funny because the way humane is cut off today, I thought it said horny. Just whatever. Your story is important, deserves to be seen and heard. Please find and keep doing what brings you smiles, laughter, joy, and maybe even bliss today and each of your days, your weeks, your months, and even your years. Yeah, on that note, Glenn, that's what I'm thinking about. And I don't know how you guys are navigating this. Let me know in the chat, in the Streamlabs super chat. I'm having such a hard time in life the last several months figuring out how to balance doing the things that bring me joy and bliss and letting myself be happy and fighting for the injustices in the world and not being somebody who is ignorant with her head in the sand. And sometimes it feels like I can't do both those things at one time. I don't know how to spend 2 hours last night hearing about everything going on in Afghanistan, the people that we have left behind, the people who are likely going to lose their lives, the women, the children, and what's happening with them, everything going on with the Taliban taking back over, us pulling our troops in a way that allowed that to happen. What's going on in Haiti with the earthquake and the people who are dying after the president was so recently assassinated, and everything, you just keep reading things. And then knowing all of those things and still doing what you're saying, Glenn, which is, the glow in your flow and radiate because you're a priceless treasure and a necessity, and doing those things and trying to figure out, how do I feel okay and do the things for me, like take a 5-minute extra longer shower that's warm, or, do yoga for 15 minutes, or talk about the joy of filming and how important storytelling is, but also educate myself and not feel this dread, this impending doom coming through my chest and my soul, which ultimately brings us so much anxiety, because while there are things we can do to help, we can't do everything. I'm really struggling with the balance of that. Are any of you guys feeling what I'm feeling, or have you guys figured out the best way to balance for yourselves? Please let me know. Glenn also says, lastly, a very happy 94th birthday to Grammy. As Stevie Wonder sings, happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday. I hope that you really enjoy your date with Grammy today, Roxy. Thank you, Grammy, for your calls into the show and being you. Thanks, Glenn. Appreciate you. If anybody has anything to say to Grammy, send it in the Streamlabs, and I can call her and tell her what it is you guys are saying. Hitman Hudson in the Streamlabs says, I've been watching Star Trek Deep Space Nine, and I don't know why I said that, like F9, and goodness gracious, this show is good. Really? The situation in Afghanistan is a real bummer, although I firmly believe we needed to get out at some point. U.S. involvement in Yemen is also concerning to me. Yeah, Hitman Hudson, it's not that I disagree that at some point we needed to get out, / the way that we got in is so fucked up. But clearly we botched it. If getting out and pulling out the way we did, we still left so many people behind who had been helping the United States. Just tough. Let's see what's going on with you guys in the chat. Cena Bigelow says, big loves to Grammy. Miss mine every day. Sorry for your loss, Cena. Hug your grandparents while you got them. Absolutely. Redford Reddington says, I try not to think about it too often. I know, but that's the problem. When I don't think about it too often, then I don't do anything to make it change. And it's just really, really tough. I don't know. It seems like not many of you guys can relate to what I'm saying. Andrew Thomas says, I think about it a lot about news and it stresses me out, so I can't think about it. I feel that. Ben Chan says it's corny, but you have to take care of yourself before you can take care of others, if that helps. I know, but then at some point we have to take care of others, and how? One of the first things I Googled was, how can I help the situation in Afghanistan? It's tough. Aaron Hall says the Serenity Prayer usually works for me. Oh, that's great that helps for you. That is not for me, but for you. The fact that helps is huge. Shout out to everybody who is joining the show live today, by the way. Thank you to everybody for being here. I know that those of you guys who can financially support do, and I so appreciate that because that is what keeps the lights on here and allows me to do things like build this studio, which still needs upgrades, but I'm still paying off. But so far, so good for the world friends and the rock stars. But I love to give love and support to all of you guys who just show up here and give me support just by being here every day. It means the world to me. So for those of you guys who can Streamlabs in and super chat, thank you. And I give you guys extra big shout outs. But for those of you guys who show up, are subscribed, like the video, comment on it afterwards, do all those things that are dead ass free for you. Y'all still get shout outs because you're the fucking real ones. Robert Turner, Glenn Caesar, Andrew Thomas, Jimmy Nails, Jake Iacovetta, my amazing mod, the French Taunter, John Get Bent, Third Turd, Redford Reddington, Zeno Hour, John RRC, Steve Cauldron, Alex Piper Hallowell, Juan Mendez, Hitman Hudson, Mark Jason Ali, Murderanta, Mohammed Belsin, Eric Z, Michael Baldwin, Bobby Jackson. I love that name. JJ. Ben Chan, and everybody else who's in here, Aaron Hall. I appreciate all of you guys, and thank you for showing up and making this show what it is by being just the absolute best. Zeno R says, I understand it's frustrating, absolutely disgusting. We left the people who helped us behind. I know. Oh, God. It just gives me shivers to think about because it's so fucking wrong. Just so wrong. Hitman Hudson, I know you said part 1 of 2 when you had stopped talking, when you finished by saying the thing in Yemen. So if you wanted to send your second part, I would love to read it. In the meantime, Bo Jax just sent in some support. Bo Jax, I really appreciate that. Thank you for your Streamlabs. It means the world. Bo Jax for life. Anytime I think Bo Jax, I think BoJack Horseman, but it's Bo Jax. I also never know when people's name are Jackson. I feel like I always say Jax when a lot of people are Jack. I have a cousin with that name. I feel like I still fuck it up. That's a crazy thing to say. Stormy Wood says to see all these people trying to get out. It's fucking heartbreaking. All the footage of people trying to get into the barrels of planes and stuff. Bobby Jackson says short for my first and last name. Yeah, that makes sense. Bo Jax. Totally. But it's with the X. Anybody with an X in their name, and you know I'm talking as a Roxy, we've got that fucking power. We've got that superpower. Shout out to all the X's out there. And I don't mean EX like ex-boyfriends or girlfriends or people. I mean X's like X marks the spot with a circle and a dot and an ROXY bitches. Print that shit. You know? You dig? All right, let's go over some Shang-Chi amazingness. I don't know about you guys, but every single one of my friends and their mothers seem to be at the premiere of this fucking movie. Somehow, my invite must have got lost in the mail. But the cool thing about being home and looking at all of this was that the hype was just so fucking real behind this. Every friend of mine that saw this seemed to tweet the most incredible things about it. Let's start with Wendy Lee Zaney, who you guys know, dear friend of mine, friend of the world, girls. I worked with her at Collider for a long time. And not only do I really respect her opinions on movies, but also as an Asian American, I feel like she has a different perspective on this film and what it actually means for the Asian culture, as does Steph Sabra, as does Alex Marzonia, and everybody else that I have spoken to about it who feels like there's that extra pressure involved in this. Wendy said, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings is phenomenal. Get hyped. Even fight scene / action sequence is better than the last. Maybe she meant every. At Simu Liu fully embraces his Marvel superhero role. Amazing imagery, killer soundtrack. You'll want to see this on the big screen. It's a really good one. My friend BD, Brennan Davis, who always has the killer insight for all this. He's comicbook.com's guy. He says Shang-Chi is awesome. This movie hits all that Marvel does well, pacing, humor, character, and adds action like we've never seen from the MCU before. It's like crazy. Everybody keeps talking about the action in this, and it's like, how could it be? I mean, it is a Shang-Chi movie, so of course I'm expecting good action, but action like we've never seen in the MCU before. MCU is an action franchise, so that's crazy to hear. Lots of people are about to have a new favorite Marvel hero. Darker than expected, loads of fun, integral to MCU Phase 4. Really like that. Darker than expected. Based on what we've seen, I expected this to be dark, but I don't know how darker than expected is. Chris Hemsworth tweeted and said, "Welcome to the MCU, Shang-Chi. Can't wait to see this. It's going to be epic." Oh, that's nice. What a nice welcome. Scott Menzel says Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings earns the title of the best superhero film of 2021 so far. The action scenes are simply spectacular, especially the train and skyscraper scene. Best martial arts I've seen in a long time. Simu Liu and Awkwafina are terrific. Hashtag Shang-Chi. What are the other superhero movies that have come out this year? I'm trying to think of what even could rival this. Obviously, the Suicide Squad, which people love. So to say this is the best superhero film of the year. But what else am I missing? I'm going to keep looking at some of these reviews. Oh, Brandon Davis also said, yes, Shang-Chi has post-credit scenes. You knew that. Oh, God, I got to know what the post-credit scenes are. Okay, let's see what Frosty says. Stephen Weintraub from Collider, who says, Shang-Chi is like no Marvel movie you've seen. Love that it opens the door to a new world that I can't wait to see more of. Interesting. At Simu Liu literally kicks so much ass, and he is perfectly cast. Got to see it in IMAX tonight. And this is how you want to see it. Looked and sounded perfect. Yeah. Wow. That sounds awesome. I am so excited for Simu to be this like breakout star, and interesting that it opens the door to a new world. I wonder exactly what he's referring to in that. I don't even want to think too much about it because I don't want to spoil anything for myself. All right. Let's see. What else are people saying in the land of Twitter? I saw that Coy was tweeting a lot about this. Coy said, in 2 weeks, an incredible movie starring Shang-Chi is going to blow people's mind. Right now, you can go see a balls to the wall insane Suicide Squad movie with Star as the villain. Tomorrow, another installment of big budget animated What If series drops. Geek victory laps. Yeah, it is a big week to be a big time to be a geek. He also says Shang-Chi might just be the best solo MCU origin since Phase 1. Wow. It does the impossible, building a brand new tapestry of a world. Puts tapestry in all capital letters. I wonder why. Plays with action in fantastical new ways. Best use of Z-axis I've ever seen. I've seen years. I don't know what that means. And mostly importantly, endears us to a whole gamut of new characters. Yeah, that's something I'm really excited for also. Loved it. Yeah, all this sounds really, really freaking good. How are you guys feeling? Has anybody here seen it? Does this get you guys more excited for it than you initially were? When are you guys seeing it? How are you planning on seeing it? How is everybody feeling about going to the movies during this time period? And the Delta variant being on the fucking rise. Sorry to bring up something that none of us want to talk about. Glenn Caesar says, Roxy, I know the switch over to Twitch is a bit tough, and the money, at least to me, seems to be coming in at a lower rate, but I had fun and missed seeing you on SEN Live. So to me, yes, I'd say I did. LOL, that you really did a good job hosting. Thank you, Glenn. Glenn also says, finding that balance isn't easy, Roxy. I get it. For me, it's really about breathing in deeply. Every time that Glenn tells me to breathe in, I always try to do it. And outly fully. I forgot to breathe in outly there. I did in, but I didn't do outly. Ready? Everybody with me? Okay. First thing in the day, or well, it's not first thing in the day, praying, meditating multiple times a day to keep me centered, knowing that I can only be me and add love and energy to the world. Yeah. And I try to do that. One of the ways I try to do that is by showing up here whenever and however I can. Let's see what it is you guys are talking about in the chat. Don't forget to send in streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Super chat in as well. I would love to hear from you guys how you're feeling about Shang-Chi, when, how, who, what, you guys are seeing this, all that stuff, and more. And meow. Definitely more hype than I was before, says Jake. Interesting. Jay's going to be watching it at home. How are you going to do that? You're waiting for it because it's not doing Disney Plus, right? You're waiting for it. Be in the theater watching it, says Bobby. Man, I haven't been in the theater since Avengers Endgame, says Third Turd. Wow, that's a minute. That's a minute. A Duder review says, tired of watching things at home. Theater is more fun for me. I think for everyone it's more fun, but it's still... Oh, yeah, Black Widow is this year also. Okay, so when people are saying it's a better comic book, the best comic book movie of this year, they're saying it's better than Black Widow, which I thought was good, the Suicide Squad, which I thought was great, and I think those are the only ones that would be considered superhero movies, right? Snake Eyes isn't a superhero movie. Is it? Is it? I don't know. You guys tell me. Is that a silly question? I'm really excited for Shang-Chi, says Zeno Hour, but I still don't feel comfortable sitting in a theater, especially during this surge. I know. It's hard to know what the right thing to do right now is, even though they're saying if you're vaccinated that you're good to go, just to be as safe as you can. Leonard Kim in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Strider says, I took a pause on going to theaters for a little while, and I'm hopeful that the situation is better by the time September 3rd comes around. September 3rd is the release of Shang-Chi. However, mentally, bringing myself to feel comfortable in an empty theater, if it's an empty theater, which it's unlikely off the bat. Yeah, maybe try to go at an off time, maybe not the first week that it opens then, if that would make you feel more comfortable. One of the things that makes me extremely lucky in this situation is that I do get to go to a press screening, and the press screenings are very strictly regulated, which means that even though Steph and I will be sitting next to each other, there won't be people within the distance apart that we need them to be apart. I think that now for vaccinated people, I think they're recommending less, whatever it is. The movie theater won't be at capacity. There's people in the aisles the whole time watching you. So people are not breaking the rules. It just makes me feel a little bit safer. Also, I'm in Los Angeles. And if you are a critic in Los Angeles, the likelihood of you being vaccinated is extremely high. It's a very liberal group of people who usually follow science and law. So I feel a little bit better, but I totally get it's nerve-wracking. It's why after flying, even though I am vaccinated and even though I wore my mask and even though all of that, and I still got the COVID test today because seeing my grandparents, I'm still just like, these breakthrough cases, they're such a small amount, but they still exist. They still exist. Andrew says, wait until it's available for streaming. I wonder when that's going to be. Usually it's not for like 3 months, but I wonder if because of the pandemic, it's going to be available much shorter after. Oh, Steve Cauldron says, Shang-Chi will be available on Disney Plus 45 days after theaters. That's not that long to wait. It still sucks to miss out on the initial wave, but that is not that long to wait. If you guys have questions, comments, concerns, thoughts on Shang-Chi or what you guys are doing for it, reviews that you saw that really made you happy, a way that you want to see the World Girls review this, Streamlabs in, would love to hear from you. Of course, I'll be talking about it on this show as well on that Monday after I am allowed to, which is in a week from yesterday. What do you think about the end credit scene? Souvernil Das, I don't know what it is. What do I think it could be? I don't know. With everything going on, we keep thinking that things are going to be leading into Doctor Strange and the multiverse, and then we're hearing things about a different world. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you think the end credits could be? Would love to hear from you. Other things that I've been watching recently that are not Shang-Chi, because I have not seen that yet. Halfway through Bachelor in Paradise. It started on Monday. I know y'all are not Bachelor people, and I know I'm about to watch the amount of people in here drop. I know. And I'm okay with that because Bachelor in Paradise, we must. The thing is, what you guys don't understand is it's like I'm watching Brilliance in the Making. Like, it is so I'm not going to really talk about it that much as I just am going to show you guys what it looks like to watch this show. I was holding my laptop, walking around my house this morning. I was making my tea. I was making my bed. I was living my life, and I'm watching this show, and I'm talking out fucking loud to myself. All of a sudden, I realized that I'm like, ooh, don't do that. Don't do that. Nope. Don't kiss her there. Oh, no. Oh, he's cute. Oh, rah. Like that. I swear to fucking God, I was like, if somebody could see me right now, they would think that I was going nutso. Because the way that I was fucking in there, like, it is the most cringe on cringe thing to watch a bunch of horny single people on an island that is 110 degrees or whatever it is. Actually, I don't think they're on an island. I think they're in Mexico, whatever. But they call it paradise. So wherever it is, I think it's in Mexico though. They're sweating their dicks off. They're like sweating all over each other. This one girl puts fucking laxatives on her face because she hears that it will help her from keep her from sweating. This show is nuts. It's wild. And they're all like into the same people. I don't know. But then at the same time, just TBH, like to be 100% real with you guys, I feel like I'm supposed to be there. Like, what if my husband's on Bachelor in Paradise and I just never know? It seems miserable. It seems awful. It seems like the opposite of everything I am. And yet, what if my person is on that fucking show? What are we going to do? How are we going to deal with that, guys? Just don't know. It's very, is this show for me? And by for me, I mean, am I supposed to be there? We don't know. We don't know. The struggle is real, y'all. The Dave finale was phenomenal. Who in here watches Dave? By a show of bunnies. If you are not watching Dave, then you are missing out on one of the best shows that has ever been on television. I know what I just said. I really fucking just said it. That show is excellent. It's so good. And the finale actually I felt like crying. I was watching it last night because it was so sweet. And a show that's funny and just like all the things. God, I love this show. Shout out to our girl, Avery Burke, who's in the chat right now and says, hey there, Roxy. It's Avery. I miss you and everybody. How is everyone? Avery, we talk about you every day on the show. Glenn still sends in about you and your mom and wishing you guys well and missing your dad every single day we do this show. We love you, Avery. Thank you for coming to join us, my dear. Give us an update. Let us know how you are doing. What's going on in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Glenn Caesar says, Roxy, I saw on Twitter that New Zealand is going back into rapid lockdown after having just their very first positive COVID test / hospitalized patient in 6 months. Wow. What an interesting contrast in terms of wearing masks, going into lockdown, etc. Yeah, they've done a pretty phenomenal job of shutting that shit down, but it's just such a different place than it is here. Leonard Kim says, Bachelor in Paradise is the best of the 3 Bachelor franchises, and it's always entertaining. I'm also curious what you think of the Big Brother casino twist. I'm not liking it so far and hope they can change my mind. Also, did my first Streamlabs go through? Leonard Kim, the one that said I took a long pause on going to theaters? I read that one. Sorry, scrolling back, just saw this. Hey, Dimple Tits, Roxy, you expressing concern and desire to help others is already more supportive than a lot of others. Some don't even give global events a second thought and live in their bubble. Sometimes there's only so much you can do, and that's okay. Yeah, but just because I'm expressing anything doesn't mean that I'm actually helping. It might be better than some, but it's not good enough. In terms of the Big Brother casino twist, I'm not really fully understanding it so far because I don't know what the other things are going to be that you can pay for. So it's okay. It just kind of seems complicated for complicated's sake at this point. In the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer, Paul3JP says, yo, just swinging by to say what's up and show some love. Few things, Biden made the right choice. Shang-Chi was dope as fuck, and Steez is still an absolute assassin. Cheers. Have a great rest of the week, girl. Paulo, you and I agree on some things and disagree on other. Biden making the right choice. I don't know how you can say it wasn't. I think he got some bad advice, but I don't know how you can say it wasn't partially botched seeing what's happening. Shang-Chi was dope as fuck. I'm excited to see that, and hopefully I agree with you. Steve's an absolute assassin there. I can't disagree. Cannot disagree. Hitman Hudson sent in the second part of his Streamlabs and said, as I'm generally disheartened by the U.S.'s continued partnership with Saudi Arabia, also as someone who is highly critical U.S. military's corruption, especially in regards to civilian casualties, I don't trust our government's intentions. think a lot of citizens don't trust our government's intentions, which is a very tough place to be. Guys, going into the regular chat from my girl Avery, who says, I'm doing good. I started my freshman year. Love it. And I have a boyfriend. And then gave 3 winks. Oh my God. Avery, tell us more. Freshman year is a big one. And a boyfriend. We're rooting for you, Avery, always. We love to hear it. I hope that you're doing okay, my babe. In the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer, Glenn Caesar says bunnies for Avery Burke and Avery's mom. Rest in peace, Chris Burke. #3 Rockstars forever. Go Smets and everyone still fighting to smash cancer. Stand against anti-Semitism. I stand against Islamophobia. I stand against Asian hate. Stop AAPI hate. I know that Black Lives Matter. #BLM. Thank you for those messages, Glenn. As always, we appreciate you. And thank you for sending those in a time that Avery is in here and can see and hear that we are thinking about her all of the time. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer for everybody who has anything to say to Grammy for her birthday. Any thoughts on the shows that they're watching right now, whether that's Bachelor in Paradise, Dave, Big Brother, or anything else that is going on right now. Gossip Girl, what the fuck? Or the plethora of other things that are on the little screen and then big screen stuff. Shang-Chi. What else are you guys excited about that is coming out soon? Thanks to everybody who is in here with us live right now. Also looking for advice still on how the fuck you guys navigate hearing all this bad shit and then continuing to be a happy person. Oh my God, is that hard for me? Sending that support. Appreciate it, especially after I just took 2 weeks off of the show. Yeah. Wow. It was tough. It was definitely tough to do. As I've told you guys, I can't give specifics, but with indies, you are not rolling in it. And so I definitely took a major hit in the last 2 weeks to be there, but I did that to be able to live my dream. And it was so effing worth it for those of you guys who missed yesterday's show. I loved talking about Always Lola with you guys. This is the one place that I really got to expand on what I was doing over there. I still have more pictures that have come through that I can't wait to share with you guys when more of the plot is revealed. One of the things I told you guys when I was signing off yesterday was about my severe FOMO on set. All the cast members thought it was so fucking funny. Like on set, even if I remember one time Drew was like stretching over in a corner because some of the things, we're standing for a long time. So I went over and I started stretching. He was like, I can't believe your FOMO is so bad that I'm sitting over stretching and you can't even watch me stretch without feeling like you have fear of missing out of stretching. I was like, it's so fucking true. It's so true. I have fear of missing out of absolutely everything. If there's something going on, I need to know what it is, who it is, how it is. Give me all the information. All right, in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer, Leonard Kim says, I hear you and I feel you, but it's okay that you can't do more. At the end of the day, you're doing the best you can, which is more than most people. There's only so much that one Roxy can do. Side note, what is Grammy's favorite tea and scone? She likes a lot of teas like I do. She does like an Earl Grey. She does do a green tea too. It's so funny that she doesn't get that affected by caffeination. So she can drink black tea at like 8 at night and she says it doesn't affect her. I don't know if that's fully true. And for scones, she really likes things like cranberry, some orange or things like that. Like I'm always a chocolate chip kind of person. She used to have such a sweet tooth, but recently she hasn't had a sweet tooth like that. So she likes more savory stuff. Bojax in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer says, I think you might have missed my other second Streamlabs. Also, once you hit it big, will you still do live at the Roxy show every once in a while for us? I think about this all the time. If I'm blessed enough to be on a TV show or whatever, it's totally going to depend on what my contract says. But if my contracts allow me to continue to do this, then yeah. And I can't imagine that it wouldn't, because I feel like I'd be able to put this in a clause under the World Girls, which I intend on doing forever. So that's the hope. That's the hope that I can kind of do it all. It would suck if I couldn't do this show because I would miss you guys. Let's see, Bojax, what your other thing is. I'm looking forward to Shang-Chi showing Iron Fist how it's done. Bojax. with all the other reviews, with all the other reviewers, who would you say your opinion tends to align with? Interesting question. I don't know. I don't know who I align with the most. I know that I often disagree with Dan. I often disagree with Perry. I have such weird taste in things. I'm trying to think. Who do you guys think my opinion aligns with the most? I would love to hear. Avery Burke says that her boyfriend's name is Matthew. He's a sophomore. Ooh, treats me well and talks about wishing he could have met my dad. He's amazing. Aw, I know how hard it is to date people that didn't meet such a big part of your life. And I'm just impressed that he, at that young age, has the ability to even acknowledge that. I like that he treats you well. That needs to be priority number one. It's the most important thing. So I'm pretty excited about that for you. You have to keep us posted. We want to know everything. Gossip with us, all of that. And thank you, Bojax, for sending that in. So yes, definitely that is my intention. I am going to be getting out of here in the next couple of minutes. So anybody who has any more questions, comments, concerns, thoughts on Shang-Chi coming out and all of the reactions for it, things that you're watching right now that you think that I need to be watching or that I am watching that you have thoughts on, how you are separating what's going on in the world and your happiness, birthday wishes for Grammy, and compliments for our very own Avery Burke finding her boyfriend. I say that with all the love in my heart. It sounds like I'm making fun of you, but I'm not. I'm just excited that you got yourself a man, and he's a sophomore, an older boy. Oh my God. What does your mom think about it all? Jimmy Nail says, teen romance is so sweet, but it makes me feel so old. I know, me too. As I'm watching things on Gossip Girl, I'm like, this is so weird. Like the one of the girls turned 15 on the show the other day, and I'm like, oh my God, it's so weird seeing her talk to guys and stuff. It's just bizarre. I'm double that age. I feel like I was 15 yesterday. Ben Chan says being on a film set can be like an intense summer camp, especially if you're on location. That's what it felt like because we were all together 24/7. It really felt like summer camp, but in the best way. I think that probably if people aren't getting along, it can feel like a bad summer camp, but because we all loved each other, it felt like a really effing good summer camp. All right, friends, I am getting out of here. I really appreciate all of your support. If you're watching this after the fact or right now, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and send in a Streamlabs. Any Streamlabs I get between today and tomorrow, I'll read tomorrow. In terms of tomorrow, the show is going to be, I have to talk to the girls about what time I'm going to do it because I'm either going to go up early or later tomorrow. I have to see Shang-Chi at 11 a.m. So I'm either going to go up at 9 a.m. tomorrow or I don't know if that will give me enough time because it's further, or I'll go up later on in the afternoon. Either way, though, we will be doing a World Girls tomorrow night. So check that out. We're doing an AMA. So excited to answer any and all questions that you guys have. And then on Thursday, I'll be back to my regularly scheduled programming. Friday, I've got Only Stupid Answers with DJ Wooldridge. And then I've got a Live at the Roxy as well. So I'll keep you guys posted on all of that stuff. Don't forget, make your bed, put down the toilet seat and the lid, check your internet. You can do so by blowing on it. Don't forget to not trend with the Holocaust because it ain't cool. Brett Miles Jonathan, arrest the cops who killed Breonna Taylor. Much love to all of you guys. Thank you, Avery, for being here. We adore you. And to everybody else who is watching live, I appreciate it. Shout out to all of you guys. To Avery Burke, to Mark Jason Ali, Steve Cauldron, Jake Yacovetta, Jeremy Miller, Our, John Prio, Bobby Jackson, Bo Jax, Jimmy Nails, Cena Bigelow, Imad, Murderanta, Otto Munder, Tanae Kumar, Ben Chan, Pink Sweets. What's up, my girl? Pink Sweets, I have pretty bad FOMO too. It's awful. Nano2233, King Sport Cow, Andrew W., Jarm King, Rob Fishback. Oh, he does live. French Taunter, Bryce Ratliff, Haltamelli, whose name I always butcher, and everybody else, Movie Master. Much love to all of you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow at some point live at the Roxy, and then for World Girl Wednesday.